else, but there's a couple.
But Tyrese ended up being wonderful.
Yes. And Sasha
And
was
Sasha was wonderful. And
wonderful
they were
too.
both wonderful together. I liked how they ribbed each other as brother and
Uh-huh.
sister. Yeah. She she was fantastic. I'm gonna miss her too,
Yeah.
but it's fun that we're gonna be able to see her on Star Trek
Yeah.
Discovery.
Discovery.
Yeah.
Uh one thing I forgot to mention is I wish they would have paid some tribute to Bob because they had such a great relationship
Yeah.
and he was such an interesting guy, and I felt like had a lot of chemistry, and
Yep.
so I thought maybe they just didn't want to confuse things, but I really think she would have been thinking about Bob through all this too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you're just because your boyfriend dies and you get a new boyfriend doesn't mean you stop thinking about the old boyfriend necessarily. Okay, is it my turn?
It is.
So my number 2 is Negan, who had some funny lines. I thought he said, "You know what? You suck ass, Rick. You really do." I like that. Or when he looked at Daryl and he's listing off the things that he wants, the pool table and Daryl, and he's all, yeah, chalk too, and the cues, and he goes, and oh, Daryl too, I see you, and he's like doing this eye thing. That was cute. Or like I said, he's like, "Oh, honey, god damn it," when she's on top attacking him.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I like this, but I notice he's constantly like sizing people up, and then they do something that he is surprised by or impressed with. He's like, "Okay, damn, all right." He does that like every time you see him. Somebody says something, he's like, "Oh," with Carl, with Rick this time, you know. It's pretty funny. I like that he referenced, maybe you thought what I did to your friends wasn't me, that it was just some kind of a put on, that I'm just the guy who makes Carl spaghetti. Because even though he's done some pretty vicious things since that first episode this season, nothing quite as brutal. I mean, he did slice Spencer's guts open. That was pretty bad, but I don't think he's used Lucille on anybody as far as I can remember.
No, I remember he did throw the doctor in the
In the oven.
fire.
That's true. Yeah. We didn't know
That's
him,
not good.
but still, yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's like, you know, that first episode really impacted people, no pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
And so we haven't seen anything quite like that from him, and just to remind, he's just giving a reminder, okay, maybe I've been too soft, you know, this is who I am. And then he goes to do something that would have been just as impactful, smash Carl across the head. And then just a couple other things about Negan. He got angry a few times during this episode, and he's usually got that smile on his face, but then occasionally he'll get a serious face. And I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a great job because it really comes through. Like when he was telling Sasha, you know, punishment is how we built everything we have. She goes, "You think I'm going to sit here and let you?" And he goes, "Careful." And he just gets really stern, you know, and it's like, "Oh, you better just chill out." Or when Jadis wants to have 12 people instead of 10, and he just gives her the stare that says, you know, "You're going to die. You could die right now." And she's like, "Okay, 10." And he's like,
Yes.
"Pray I don't alter the deal any further," you know, that kind of a thing. and then the last one is when Rick didn't flinch when he said he was gonna kill Carl.
Yes.
And he looked really pissed in that moment.
He did.
And then he swallowed it and calmed down. But I think he it's important for him to break people, so when he realizes he hasn't broken someone, that pisses him off.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little tired of his shtick.
Yeah, I know. You were tired of him the first time he came on the screen.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then at the end when he said, "We're going to war," I was excited because I want to see a war.
Didn't we just see a war?
No, we saw a battle.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Seen a war yet.
The Battle of Alexandria. Yeah. And I'm wondering, oh my God, is that going to be all of season 8? We're going to be gearing up for battle. Is it going to be like this season?
Yeah. Next season, I think you should stay on the podcast, but just not watch the show. And then I
Okay.
can tell you tell you what
That
happened.
actually sounds like a great
There's
idea.
some stuff in the news that might help you get a little more
Okay.
interested in next season, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll be curious.
Okay.
So what's your number
All right.
one?
My number one is the Kingdom and Hilltop coming to the rescue at the end, the last second. Bah, 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 bah. So Shiva, good girl. Who knows why? How come she knew who to eat? It doesn't matter. She got two of them, so yay.
He's like, because
And-
Ezekiel, you couldn't hear, but he was like, sick him.
That one right there.
No,
not that one.
Oh, well.
And it was fun to see Carol and King Ezekiel and Morgan, and they're
Not the baby.
You know,
Not the baby.
I had a hard time figuring out who was who during the battle.
Right. So imagine if you were a tiger.
Right. Must have been much more confusing for Shiva, but Shiva was like, "Oh, thank God, I've just been eating these feral
Melons
pigs
and-
and melons, and I've been just now Shiva has a taste for blood.
That's right.
Now she was like, I guess I can eat any human."
Tigers eat zombies, so it actually works out really well.
But they don't become tiger zombies.
No.
Zombie tigers.
There actually, I think Kirkman has said no zombie animals in this universe, which is why we've never seen one.
Good.
All right. Notes.
Notes. All right. So first, I wanted to say for all of you who care, happy baseball opening day. And it's baseball opening day. Hurrah. And I'm grateful that the only bat that I have to see are the ones swung during a baseball game for the next 6 months. Baseball bats were meant for good, not for evil. So Negan, take the fucking barbed wire off your poor bat. You stupid fuck. Use the bat the way that it was intended and channel your aggression into the best sport in the world, baseball.
Kirk Manley drew the Walker Stalker Chicago poster, and it had the cast dressed up in the
Yes.
Cubs uniforms and Negan with his bat. I think he like whacked a zombie's head off or something.
Right. Well, okay. If you want to use the bat for whacking zombies, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. If you want to do it like your batter up, it's fine. Anyway, happy baseball opening day.
How much do you think I care that it's baseball opening day?
Not at all.
Rhetorical, okay?
Well said. Well
Just
said.
kidding. I just wanted an excuse to play that.
So a couple other things real fast. The walkie-talkie that Jesus had never seemed to help.
Oh shit. Oh well, good try. He still has it.
I'm sure he does. Maybe he just didn't ever get batteries for it, even though they got batteries for it.
Actually,
The
no, they
truffle-
heard some things a couple of times.
Did they?
Well, they heard that Eugene was saying that we're going to go out and scope those buildings, so Sasha and Rosita knew that they had to make a move.
Oh, because they had the walkie-talkie.
I guess they had one, so I think there was only one. Right?
That was the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
That was the walkie-talkie. Okay. So it, yeah.
But it did at least that. I mean, I know we've heard them listening in other times, but I don't remember if it was helpful or not.
The truck full of explosives, did it go back with the Saviors? I presume it did.
Be cool if it didn't.
It would. I saw Lori Holden, aka Andrea,
Mhm.
in The Americans. She's been in 2 episodes so far, and it's so great to see
Really?
her.
Is she good?
Oh, she's great.
Is-
Well, it's set in 1983 or 4.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so it's Lori Holden circa 1980. I want to say 83 at this point. And she's adorable. They see her at the gym, and it's kind of great. I'm one behind, so I haven't seen this last one.
I don't like all this anti-Russian sentiment, by the way, because I don't know if in people's minds that spills over to all the Russian people, or if it's just Putin and everybody. Just all this. I'm skipping to talking about the political climate and how people are saying the Russians interfered in the elections and everything.
Oh,
And because it just made me think of it, that it feels like it's getting to a place where it's just, you think of Russia and it's like, oh, our enemies. And I hope people don't
No.
think that. Well,
that's
I
not
know
that's not how it is in The Americans.
oh, good. But
In fact, in The Americans, you root for Elizabeth and Philip, who are Russian.
But I'm talking about real life. I'm kind of changing the subject a little bit, I guess. But I just want
You sure you want to go down that road?
Well, no, I only wanted to bring that up because about the Russian sentiment, because I worked for a Russian company up until a week and a half ago, and I worked with Russian people, and they were all really cool, and it was actually the coolest boss I ever had, and they flew me out to Moscow one year, and I actually went down inside of a nuclear bunker, and they did this
very cool.
Simulation of bombs going off and I heard Russian, and I was like, man, I do feel like I'm in the wrong place right now. This is so weird, because I grew up in the Cold War 80s, but I just don't want to return back to that feeling in the Cold War where we just thought of Russians as the bad guys.
Oh, but I got to tell you, if you're the Americans is the best show on television right now, bar none. It is the best show.
Better than Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
It's really, 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 really good. I recommend it for everybody. And that's a lot of reallys. I understand
Only
that.
5.
And it was fun to see Laurie Holden. And no, I'm Russian. I'm half Russian. So is David. Yeah, and my brother lived in Russia. So no, we're
No, I didn't think you had that. I'm talking to everybody else.
Everybody, I'm talking to you listeners. Finally, where's Judith? Why is Judith at Hilltop?
Yeah, how did she get there?
Who knows?
Is that Judith?
Weird, right? She looked like Judith.
Did she have a growth spurt? Because she looks like she's all of a sudden
it's
4.
It's a little baby. She's a baby.
Well, she was making little baby sounds, gurgle, gurgle, and then it panned down to her, and she's like 4 years old, and she was talking. She said it. She said a couple of things. Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't. They were talking about a different kid.
How much you want to bet?
What'd she say?
I don't know. She just said, can I have the whatever, or something like that. I can pull it up right now.
In this,
Actually,
in the finale?
Yeah, in Hilltop, the little blonde girl that was with Edith took care of her.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd she get there?
Maybe that's not Judith.
It's totally Judith.
Yeah, I swear to God, she said a couple of words.
Oh,
so,
all right.
Or unless somebody else was talking in a baby voice. Yeah. Kill zombies.
We hate Negan.
Anything else?
No.
You don't want to say anything about Morgan?
No.
Okay. We didn't talk about him. I just thought it was worth mentioning that it was kind of cool to see Negan kind of pull him into the fold a little bit. Not Negan. Ezekiel.
King Ezekiel?
Yeah, and say, you're not stuck. Fight with us. And I dug his, by the way, Ezekiel's king speak during the battle. That was pretty good. I forgot. I should have wrote down what he said, but when he first joined the battle and was, giving us proclamations as he shot left and right.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. And Morgan, he's a killer again. And to me, that makes him not as interesting because the show's full of killers. But I was glad to see him at least join the group and not be too self-destructive. This was the first time Rick has heard the term sanctuary. I thought that was interesting. What's sanctuary? Yeah.
Sanctuary?
And then
that's what we call it.
It was the first time I think that we've ever seen Simon and Negan together in one place in an episode.
Proving they are not the same person.
Right. Exactly my thoughts. And I never expected to see Scott, a.k.a. Kendrick Green, outlast Sasha Martin Green on the show, his wife.
Yeah.
But there he is.
It makes me wonder how they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you mean? Actors do stuff like that all the time. Yeah, I guess you're right, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
She's going to have to move into outer space.
Depends on where they film.
Walking Dead is Georgia. Star Trek is Alpha Centauri. So they're going to have a long distance thing going on. It's not that funny.
They're filming it in space.
And last, they gave a shout out to, well, I don't know if you call it a shout out, but Bernie Wrightson died recently in memory of Bernie Wrightson. He was a longtime comic book artist. He created the Swamp Thing. He made Freak Show into a comic, and he was a friend of Greg Nicotero, so I think that's why.
Oh. Yeah. It's very nice.
Older guy. All right, let's little change of pace because I'm doing the ad after the podcast today. So it's just me, and the sponsor is Fracture. And Fracture is, of course, your photos printed on glass in vivid color. And here's a really good endorsement that we got recently. This is from listener Karen Shee, who said, quote, "I should note that I heard about Fracture through you guys and have been ordering a lot of their beautiful glass prints ever since. I'm a photographer, and these make really nice gifts for my clients and friends. The last photo is of me in my distilled bomber jacket. I absolutely love it. I wore it to a film premiere the other night and got many compliments. I know people don't love breaking the show up for commercials, but you've got some really great sponsors here. Thanks for the recommendations." Smiley face Karen. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I know people don't like breaking things up for sponsors, but I hope you guys at least appreciate that we really do try to get, we don't try, we get only the sponsors that have the stuff that we actually use and like and would feel good about recommending to you guys. And so that's why I like getting email like this, because it shows me that you guys are actually going out and appreciating this stuff and enjoying it. And Fracture's probably the one that we actually get the most emails from. And the pictures that Karen sent are totally awesome. You can tell that she's a professional photographer. One has a beautiful piano set on stage with this really moody noirish lighting. And there's a pretty woman playing the piano and some other people on stage, a drummer and a singer. There's one of a really nice engagement couple at sunset. Looks like post-wedding. And then there's another wedding one on a staircase. It looks like it comes from a movie in the 1940s or something. This dapper guy reaching down and his beautiful bride reaching up to her. And then there's the one of Karen in her bomber jacket. She looks totally badass. So very cool. Great to see those. I meant to talk about this with Karen today, my Karen. But I was over at her place the other night to go to the Game of Thrones concert. We met up there, and she didn't end up going, but we all hung out beforehand. And I noticed her Fracture up on the wall. It's always there. I think it's at the Bay Bridge. And Karen's place is really nicely decorated, and it's well kept. I'm jealous. I wish I had her taste and also her just ability to keep the place looking so nice. But just the fact that she does have the place looking so nice and well kept, and she has this Fracture up on the wall, and she has a couple others in other places in the house, lets me know that, yeah, she really does like these, and, she cares about having a nice environment. So it means something that she actually has her Fractures up on the wall, and she likes them. I know she likes them. And I wanted to ask her if she knew right away when we found out about Fracture that she would like them and want to put them up. Yes, I totally did. There you go. So I've been meaning to get another one, and now that I have little Bodhi and he's being super cute, maybe I'll see if I can get Nico and Bodhi together and have them fractured. Anyway, that's enough. You guys know what these are all about, and if you have been thinking about it but haven't had a chance, or if you want to get another one, you go to fractureme.com to get them. But if you're a first-time customer, go to fractureme.com/podcast and choose the Walking Dead cast. You get 10% off on your first order. And I know you're going to be thanking us. If you give it to somebody, they're going to love it. So if you do get one of these, no matter what you think, I hope you write to us at brainsandpodcastica.com and let us know how it went. Again, that's fractureme.com/podcast. And thanks to Fracture.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Deadcast news update.
Okay, in honor of April Fool's Day, which just passed, one item will be fake this week. So it's up to you to try and guess which one it is.
I'm so excited.
Once we're finished.
Okay.
Number one, Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 premiere Sunday, June 4th. So they finally gave out the premiere dates. It's going to be a 16-episode season with the first 8 episodes premiering over 6 weeks. So they'll show 2 episodes the first night, and then 5 or 4 in a row, then 2 on the last.
Oh, okay.
So they're crunching it down.
Right.
That's awesome, because that means that it's not overlapping with Game of Thrones at all, and I could do both podcasts and not have to worry about it. So I'm stoked about that. Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 synopsis says, as Fear the Walking Dead returns for Season 3, our families will be brought together in the vibrant and violent ecotone of the U.S.-Mexico border. International lines done away with following the world's end, our characters must attempt to rebuild not only society, but family as well. I didn't know what ecotone meant, but it's a
Yeah, what is that?
a region of transition between two biological communities.
Can you spell it?
Biological
T-O-
communities? ECOTONE.
T-O-O-M-E.
Any.
Any. I've never heard of that. Ecotone. Huh.
Yeah, they shouldn't put words like that in the synopsis. I guess
Yeah.
they're trying to teach us or something. Okay, the next Walking Dead podcaster, Jason Kabassi, has been honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from Men's Health magazine for his amazing physique. Editor-in-chief Bill Phillips said, "We got to admit he has a charming personality too."
Well,
So-
that seems real.
That seems real, yeah. Next.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. I wonder when you'll talk about the fake one. I bet I'll know. I bet I'll know.
You know what? I started, I found this article I was super excited about, and I'm like, I don't just, I sit there and read and I paraphrase, and, it takes a little bit of time to put this together. And right as I was getting to the bottom to finish it up, I saw April Fool's. I was like, damn it. But it was Extinction of the Dead, about Romero making his final zombie movie in the Romero series. And it was supposed to take
Totally
place
plausible.
at the house where the first one was, which I loved. And I was like, yes. And then it was April Fool's, and I was like, fuck you.
Oh. It's a great
I
idea.
know. You should do it.
Yes.
Apparently there was a zombie series of his in development at AMC, but that we haven't heard anything about that in a while. That would be interesting, at least to just, see if it's any good. A Romero zombie series.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott Gimple in Variety said about Sasha's scene, "I had been talking about that with Sonequa from the beginning of the season. As things were coming into place, we saw that Sasha would do anything to make sure Maggie is safe, and Sasha wanted to make sure she took care of this to make sure Maggie wouldn't have to do it. Sasha's sacrifice is the momentum with which the characters go into season 8. I read that mostly just to say that I think that they actually had decided Sasha was going to die and told her, and so then she started looking for other work and found Star Trek. I think that's the order of how it went.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure, but I think so.
Huh.
So we kind of, because we learned about Star Trek, we thought maybe she got that and then decided
Right.
to take
And then
it,
they wrote her off.
Yeah.
Huh.
Next, this is the part that I was thinking you might find somewhat interesting. So it's a Scott Gimple and Hollywood Reporter about next season. I mean, they say, "Is there a sense of what this victory means for everybody and where they go from here? Obviously, this is just the beginning of the war." He says, "The turn of the story is really going to dictate the structure of the story and the speed of the story. The things that they're getting into demand a more kinetic narrative. The pace is accelerated by virtue of the things that they're up to. Though I don't want to say exactly, anybody who watches the show can extrapolate that they're now into public conflict with the Saviors. The battle lines are drawn. There isn't quite as much time to dig into anything but prosecuting the war." So the pacing, but you don't want to see, even if it's faster paced than this season.
Yes, I would love to see it faster paced than this season. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I
So,
thought.
yes, that's,
Mhm.
sure, okay. Did he just say the prosecution of the war?
Yeah, that just means the execution, basically.
Oh, I know, but really? The prosecution of the war?
He talks funny. He says, they say, "Will All at War last all of season 8, or is that just the first half story?" He says, "I would never say." But
Of course he'd never say. I'd
But
never
yes.
say, because Karen from the Walking Dead cast is really hoping that it's only going to be the beginning. So
first 10 minutes.
Not the first. Okay, I'll accept a couple of episodes, and after that,
Yeah, I think you're
I'm
right.
like,
It
all
would
right.
be nice if it wasn't.
there's so many other things
You
they
know
could
what?
get into.
There's an arc in the comics about, it's called All at War, and that's where we are. And I don't want to say how many issues because I don't want to spoil people, but I want to go back and read that again because I seem to remember that there was some really good storytelling. It wasn't just battle. But it's been a long time.
20 or 30 issues? Or is that what we're talking about here?
You wish. No. So Dorman Reedus on thedirty.com, they asked him what he would say to those criticizing the show, claiming it's lacking direction and more. He said, "I think too many people are on the internet and everybody has a computer and everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a podcast. You didn't say that, which is fine, but you got to stop. If you don't have too much violence, they go, there's not enough violence. Too much violence, there's too much violence. That was just like a red carpet thing, so he was just giving a quick answer, but basically he's saying, I don't want to hear it.
Can't please all the people all the time. We get it, Norman. Thanks.
Thanks.
By the way, that last one was fake.
You got it.
Thanks.
Okay, that's it for the news. Now it's time for our next sponsor.
Do you know how Jason and I stay up to date with the latest news and entertainment? We use Texture, the app where you can get access to in-depth interviews, reviews, and behind the scenes with your favorite celebrities, directors, and writers. With Texture, you get access to magazines like Vanity Fair, The Hollywood Reporter, Interview, People, and Entertainment Weekly. Texture puts hundreds of magazines all in one place on your tablet or phone. The Texture app has gone beyond delivering just the magazine itself. They've made it easy to find and enjoy the articles you want to read with daily recommendations, exclusive interactive features, videos, and more. In fact, I was traveling to Arizona for spring training last month, and I didn't have to bring my stack of 50 unread back issues of The New Yorker. I just brought them preloaded on my iPad mini, and voila, I had access to all of that content. Texture makes magazines easy, and there are so many great ones out there, like The New Yorker that I just mentioned, but also Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated, Outside Magazine, just to name a few. Texture is searchable, and you can mark what you like, check out back issues, view bonus video content, and they even curate articles and magazines just for you, or whoever you're giving Texture to this year. And there are a couple of holidays coming up. Hello, Mother's Day and Father's Day, where this would make an amazing present, just saying. Texture is normally $9.99 a month, and you get over 200 magazines. But if you sign up right now at texture.com/deadcast, you get a 14-day free trial. So why subscribe to just a few magazines when you can have all of your favorites on your smartphone or tablet all the time for way less? Plus, Texture was selected as one of Apple's top 2016 iPad apps. So start your free trial now and download the Texture app. So right now, Texture is offering our listeners a 14-day free trial when you go to texture.com/deadcast. That's 14 days to try Texture for free when you go to texture.com/deadcast. That's texture.com/deadcast. Thanks, Texture.
All right, now it's time for Lizard Moans, Groans, and Grunts. So as with most finales, we got like 2 or 3 times the number of calls and emails this week, which I love, but we can't read them all or we'd be here forever. So if yours doesn't get read or played, try again another time. We hope you try again.
Okay, this first one comes from Aaron McCoach, who writes, "This is what we were waiting for. Drama, action, pain, joy, and Shiva ripping the shreds out of saviors. We are going to war. Hashtag all out war."
Rima Joe says, "This is The Walking Dead. These are the episodes that bring us back and make this show great. For everyone that booed the first half, I hope this one brings them around."
Spencer Lewis says, "If the reason that CGI deer was so bad a few episodes ago was because they were saving their money for the CGI tiger attack in the finale, money well spent."
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know.
Yeah.
Paula Hopper says, "Fuck the Garbage Pail Kids. Now that that's out of the way, I never truly thought about how much of an impact Glenn had on the foundation of our beloved show and comics. I was so happy to see tribute paid to both him and Abraham. I haven't cried on a finale in a long time. Nicely done." Yeah.
That was nice. And it was nice that it was, it actually was great. I didn't even think about that. Glenn was brought back through Maggie's words and Abraham was brought back because Abraham was brought back. That's awesome. Rebecca Bates Novak writes, "When Sasha came after Negan and Carl started shooting, we cheered so loud my husband ran downstairs to see what was going on. Awesome finale. And Shiva was great."
I think that's a Tony the Tiger reference.
Yes.
Kristen Hall says, "It was a mystery, the first flashback with whether she was dying or having an orgasm. I felt I was intruding on something either way. LOL." Was it the big death or the little death?
Chris Allen writes, ironic that Sasha committed suicide to a Donny Hathaway song, and he actually committed suicide.
Yeah, that's how I found that out through Chris. Erica N. Furter says, we were so pissed when the trash pickers turned, but oh, did Sasha make us cheer? My husband totally called it. Talk about going out with a blaze of glory.
Joseph Sanders says, at first I was mad when the Heapsters double-crossed our group, but then I realized that I could now dislike this group like I wanted to all along.
Yeah, they're very hateable now. That's a good point.
They really are.
Des Combs says, so it's neat that the only two character deaths they've had that got all timey-wimey were brother and sister. Yeah, that was sort of an interesting way of presenting things. I mean,
yeah,
Tyrese was a little more involved, but yeah.
He had a whole flashback kind of
hallucination,
yeah, and so did she. Wow, excellent point.
Mm-hmm.
Des, I didn't even consider that. Becky Price says, awesome episode. Sasha has officially redeemed herself from dating that big ginger oaf, in my opinion. It's hilarious.
Chris French says, it's strange because although I got everything I wanted in this episode, saviors being defeated, tiger maulings, a welcomed Abraham return, I still feel a little unfulfilled for some reason, and it's bothering me. Maybe I was expecting more deaths of characters we know. It felt like the saviors had stormtrooper aim.
God, so true.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too.
Absolutely.
Kellyanne says, the camera focused on the smiley face pancake as Negan was talking. I had a massive giggle fit thinking Negan had turned into a talking pancake. That's funny.
That's what happens when you smoke out before The Walking Dead.
That's right. Oh my God, he's a pancake.
This is great. Cindy from Walker Stalker, our Cindy, says, I would like to lay with Rick also, preferably before Michonne and Pollyanna trash heap. Preferably, but
whatever. Pollyanna trash heap.
Her name is, I think the actress's name is Pollyanna. She's lined up to come to a bunch of Walker Stalkers, so I want to see how she talks during the panels.
Yeah. She was on The Talking Dead.
Okay. Was she
once.
Nice?
Yeah, she's lovely. She was lovely.
Did she have her Romulan haircut?
Yes.
She did.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Last night, Abraham, help me out here, Michael Cudlitz was on The Talking Dead, and he came on, and he's no longer that ginger. He's now kind of salt and pepper gray. It's shorter, and he has like a salt and pepper gray beard.
Wonder what he's doing.
So I don't know. He's on something.
I'm gonna be talking to him.
Show.
Me and Eric, Mr. Blogger, doing his panel in San Francisco.
Nice. Ask him. You'll see his new look.
Yeah. Your turn.
Oh, okay. Sorry. These are emails. The first one is from Drea Age.
Yep. Good old Drea, remember?
Look at me remembering. What must be the best episode of this show to date? So well-rounded, so perfectly paced, so many feelers spanning the spectrum, from pure devastation to joy and hope, not only for our fictitious group of beloved survivors, but for the world and our humanity. As a fan from day one, I couldn't have asked for a better episode with so many gems. Carol's back with a vengeance. Morgan takes a break from clearing to kick ass with his sharp stick and help the group. Michonne, we win. Enough said. Traitors. So many fucking traitors. Zombie Sasha. I've never wanted a Zed to chomp someone's face off as much as I wanted Sasha to take out Negan. God, me too. And Shiva. Abraham, you glorious handlebar mustache bastard. It was bittersweet seeing you, old friend. I laughed, I cried, I jumped, I cheered, I cursed. Fuck you, Dwight. Can't wait for Daryl to fucking kill you. Can't wait to hear you guys break it down. I feel all the fans really love this one. Jason, so glad to hear you're keeping the podcast going strong through the off season. Your fans, thank you, because you guys fucking rock. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, and look we have a haiku review for you. It goes, betrayed by the trash, redeemed by the Hill Dom troops, preparing for war. Until next time, guys, don't get your face ripped to shreds by Shiva. Thanks, Drea. I loved her haiku review for you.
I know. We haven't had haikus in a long time. Made me feel like we should do more haiku stuff again. This next one is from Kalar, who says, "Hi, Karen and Jason. I've been hanging in there in part because of your podcast, but I think I'm just about done with this show. That was 1 hour and 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Was it really necessary to go over and over Negan's horribleness yet again? Rick's helplessness again? Carl being threatened again? We got it. Stop pounding us over the head with it, show. Move the plot along. Please." Yes, there were a few cool moments, but mostly I spent 90% of the episode not looking at the screen and the other half bored to tears. Sasha's zombie and Tanya the tiger were the lone bright spots. I feel like I said, that felt repetitive until Shiva came in and it kind of redeemed it. Plus it bookended the season. So I don't feel like this is like, lazy writing or something. It's very intentionally evoking that. But we did get a lot of Negan threatening people this season, especially in the first half. So I could see why that might bring back your distaste for that. He goes on, "I don't know. I just feel like they have a blank check to run the show for as long as they want. So they're dragging everything out like a snail in slow motion. This whole season has been like that. Please, Walking Dead, get to the point. Now we'll have to wait until next season. Ridiculous. It's not that I thought Negan would get killed this season, but I at least thought Rick's group would get to the sanctuary and start setting up to kick ass there, or at least something more exciting than a repetition of the premiere. The way this show's going, I'm sure they won't get to Negan's place until season 8 mid-season finale, and then not conquer the sanctuary until the finale. I can't hang in that long. Most of these villains are insufferable, making them unwatchable." Wait, this is from you. It's not from Kalar. No, I'm just kidding.
Love Karen.
Love Karen. The bloom has certainly come off the rose on this show, and it's sad for me to say that a TV show is not fun or absorbing when the fourth wall has been torn down. Ever since the Glenn dumpster fiasco and last season's bullshit cliffhanger and repeating lame scare tricks and cartoony characters and the screeching to a halt plot, it feels like so much deliberate manipulation. So I'll listen to your Walking Dead finale wrap-up podcast and stay with you on the non-TWD stuff because you guys are fun to listen to, and I generally like the genre. P.S. I think I've been bit. Kayla. So this is the one I wanted to respond to. So I feel like this season was about setting up the status quo. I've said this early on in the season, but it's what is it like? What is the show like if there's this menacing oppressor putting his heel down on everybody? And then the season was about exploring that.
Yes.
Exploring Negan and his group, seeing how our heroes dealt with it, given their individual personalities and pasts, and also how their journeys led to the discovery of these new people and places and how they would gather together. But if you, as a viewer, expected Negan to be defeated sooner and he wasn't, by the end of this, he's still in command, then I could see why that would feel like a drag. But I didn't. I thought by the end of the season, we'd be pretty much where we are. If anything, I feel like it's a little predictable, but I was also intrigued and entertained throughout the season to see how they would deal with this new status quo. And I'm curious whether my perspective is going to change on that once we do, if I get a chance to do a rewatch, or at least just go back and go over my notes and everything. I might change, but that's how I've felt most. I mean, not to say, I mean, it did, I think there was some dragging going on, but I really don't feel like it as much as everybody else. And some people say I'm too rah-rah about the show, but I've definitely had my complaints, but that's just not one of them for me.
Yeah. Well, hey, it works for you, and that's great. Yeah. And you're lucky. I wish it worked for me as well as it does for you. It does. I feel more like what Kalar's saying. Yeah. I feel like, come on, man. There's so much else to explore in this world that I want them to really, tell me a little bit more about what's going on in the world, what's going on in other places. Mm-hmm. What are some of the logistical problems? How are you going to solve them? Is disease a thing? Are people, what happens when somebody has to go to the dentist? I want to know what you guys are doing, man. Mm-hmm. But instead we just get these sort of one note seasons. And this season was all about this one note. And it was a note that I feel like we've seen before. I mean, we kind of had these dictators before. We've had they've met terrible groups. They've met the governor. They've met I could name 4 other groups that they've had to, do battle with. And I'm like, oh my God, we've done this. Yawn. Come on.
I don't
What's
agree
new
it's
about it?
one note. I think it's a long story with a lot of different notes.
Okay.
One
Okay.
character of whom has one note, and that's Negan, pretty much.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't even necessarily agree with that, but he definitely has a very strong presence in the show, and if you don't like him, then that's super annoying. But I don't know. It'll be interesting when we do the rewatch, because I want to try and look and see because I remember the first episode was the darkest episode of the series, and then the second episode was the lightest episode probably of the series. So there's 2 very distinctive notes right there. Right? The well, or the one where they met the tiger and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not one note.
That's not, but the season as a whole was all about gearing up for war. Are you in, you're out.
Yeah, I guess so. So they shouldn't do season-long story arcs.
Maybe if they have an interesting story.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I don't. That's subjective. So, and I can even agree to an extent that they could have had a more interesting story for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
This next one comes from Mads Thompson in Denmark. Oh, I love him. Just finished the episode, and wow, I loved it. That's great TV right there. Although I was kind of hoping they'd capture Negan, and Rick just got in a punch or two. Andrew Lincoln did an amazing acting job this episode. I can really feel that hate and anger going on inside him. Now Shiva is fed with some saviors, and Jerry's got an apple. So now we can wait till October. Loved your show so much. I'm a proud Patreon of you two. You make my week great every time. And Jason, I wish you the best of luck on your podcast career. You will always have my support as long as Negan doesn't take half my shit. Hugs to you. Thanks, Wolf.
Thanks, man.
He's got a great taste in music too. He's turned me on to some good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, he's a nice guy. From Jackie Starkey. One question I'd like your guys' perspective on: what did Dwight do to help out? I saw the trees down, but would he have let Negan kill Carl? I think he would have. I was waiting for him to do something to help them, but saw nothing, and now I hate him again.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I think he would have too. He wasn't about to start fighting the saviors until he saw that the battle had begun, I guess. That's what I thought. I don't know. Either that or he's a triple agent or something. All right, let's get into calls. First one is from Emily Reeves.
Hey, Jason and Karen. It's Emily from Arizona, and I just finished watching the season 7 finale, and I just gotta say, I was really impressed with how well Ezekiel trained Shiva. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he was able to train Shiva to only attack the good guys and not the bad guys. But he must have used a lot of tiger treats or something. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Love the show, guys.
Yeah, he was tossing tiger treats at the people.
Right.
Go get it.
Go get
That
it.
would work.
Go get it.
Like little mice or something.
It'd work for my cat.
Throw it on my head and the cat would just jump right
Oh,
up.
yeah. Oh, totally. She's very food motivated.
Here is Anwen from New Zealand.
Hey, Jason and Karen. It's Anwen from New Zealand. Season 7 finale. Wow, it's almost hard to know where to start. I've realised who Jadis reminds me of. It's Mugatu from Zoolander, and she's just awful with her derelict garbage kids and turning on Rick. It's just tragic. My highlights were the extreme close-ups on Daryl Dixon's forearms. That was quite nice. Sasha getting to eat the Saviour's face off. That was brilliant. And Shiva attacking the Saviour. Me and my husband both jumped the couch on that one. It was fantastic. So, Jason, you better play Eye of the Tiger this week. I thought it was really satisfying overall, and I really loved how Glenn and Abraham were featured so heavily and kind of bookended the season. Fantastic. Can't wait for next season. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was one of the better top 5 lists.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Owen.
Thank you. And then this last call, which I haven't listened to yet, is from Laura and Aubrey.
Woo.
Hey, Jason and Karen, it's Laura.
And Aubrey. We just finished watching the episode at the bar, and it was really awesome because
we're all cheering at the same, like, exciting points.
Yeah, like when Shiva, like, jumped into her thing, everyone was, like, clapping and screaming, and when Jadis was, like, proposing to be with Rick, everyone was, like, cracking up, and it was just so much fun. Yeah, it was a really good finale, lots of action, lots of drama. We all saw Sasha's death coming, so that was fine.
I'm kind of disappointed that no one bigger died, because we were all kind of expecting Sasha to die and unexpecting someone else to die, but no one else did.
Yeah, for a moment, I really was scared for Carl there,
and Rick. I thought that Rick was like significantly hurt, but I guess he's fine. Yeah. He's not even like in the hospital way.
He's like, oh, gunshot wound, let me just walk it out.
I really hate Jadis right now. She's the literally worst.
Of course. It was awesome when all of the teams like came together, and it was cool to see Rick and Ezekiel and Maggie like on the little platform at the end, like being the leaders, talking to the group. That was awesome.
I really want someone to just chop off Jadis's head and like roll it down the street like a stinking bowling ball. Her neck is too long for this. She's insane and disgusting.
Yeah, basically anyone with a long neck needs to go.
Just need to go.
Get him out of there. But yeah, anyways, I think it was a good episode. Really set us up well for the next season, and I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, so thanks for listening.
Sorry for my voice, I'm getting sick, but it was a great season. Thanks for the podcast. We love listening to you guys, and we can't wait to hear what you think of this episode.
I like that idea of chopping her head off and rolling her head like a bowling ball.
Yes. I like that too.
Please do that.
She deserves it. I forgot. Yeah, Rick was shot.
I know. In the side. I think in the side.
Yeah. So I guess you just shake that off. You just walk it off.
Did you ever see Grand Canyon?
No.
It was a movie by the same guy that wrote The Big Chill. And
Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah, right. And there's a big cast, but Steve Martin is in it, and he plays this movie executive, and he's making blockbusters that have no soul or something. And at one point he gets shot in like the back lot or something, and he's laying on the floor. He's pissed himself. He's drooling and bleeding and just totally in shock and can't move, and I think he got shot in the leg or something. And after that, he kind of had a change of heart about his movies. But it was interesting because it was sort of like, oh yeah, this is what it would really be like.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You wouldn't just be, and it's really funny. At one point when Rick and Carl, I mean, maybe he's just in shock, and maybe he's used to being shot by now, but Rick and Carl go back and they find Michonne, and Michonne is propped up against the wall, and he goes in to hug her and everything. And later on I was like, wow, he was shot in the hip the entire time he's doing that scene. He's supposed to be, bleeding and shot.
And then when he hugged Michonne, they both should have went, ow! Ow! Okay, later.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
exactly.
Nah, you know what? I'm saying that, but this is an action adventure show, so it's got a little leeway.
In fact, at the very end, when they're in their hospital beds, Michonne's in a bed, and I think Rick is sitting beside her. Am I wrong?
Could be, yeah. I was in the tank with Rick, so I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
on the
that's
screen.
right. You were in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta with the tank and Rick firing off a bullet inside the tank, and his ears ringing.
That's right.
Yeah. So they showed them, and I think Rick was sitting next to Michonne, but I'm like, you're shot. But okay.
Yeah. He's tough.
Yeah, he is. He is a tough hombre.
Cookie.
You're right.
All right. That is it for Listener Moans, Groans, and Grunts. Thanks for everybody who wrote in and called. Now it's a big comic book week, I think. So here's Comic Talk with Mr. Blog.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Blog here. Unfortunately, it's just me this week. Grace couldn't make it, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the best that I can for the Season 7 season finale. This did have a lot of what I thought it would have, plus a little bit more. I was actually kind of excited. I thought this was a pretty good episode. I did enjoy it. So how did it compare to the comics? Wow, where do we even begin? First of all, the Sasha thing. That was very much the Holly storyline. Of course, we get a little bit more with the Eugene giving her the pill. That didn't happen in the comic. In the comic, it was that Negan did, in fact, kill Holly before doing that. That was a whole plan by Negan, actually, was to set loose a zombie. In this case, it did play out a little bit differently, but I thought that was pretty damn cool the way they did that. I thought it worked really, really well, to tell you the truth. And good luck to Sonequa Martin Green for whatever she's going to be doing in the future. Star Trek, can't wait. That looks cool. What else do we have? That was the same thing. We got the same sort of fight up in the tower with Michonne and this strange scavenger person, who I do very much believe those are going to become the Whisperers. I really do believe that. But in that case, of course, it was Andrea up in the bell tower fighting some savior dude. It did play out virtually the same way, though. So I got a real kick out of that, even with the whole thing of her falling and Rick believing that was, his loved one fell to her doom. Of course, the lineup 2.0, as it were, with Negan wasn't quite as extensive in the show as it was in the comic, but very similar thing. Now, he wasn't going to go after Carl in that way. That's all different. But then we didn't have the whole lobbing of grenades from the Savior. So the war played out very differently. I gotta say, I loved seeing Shiva spring into action. I thought that was pretty awesome. If I am correct, the Hilltop and the Kingdom did not spring into this sort of action as quickly as they did here in the show, but I thought it worked really, really well. But that was definitely a difference. And seeing Shiva do her thing, it really just made up for everything. So I'm going to try to keep this kind of short because it's just me, and I don't think that's nearly as fun as it would be as if Grace or anybody else were here. So I think that covers it. I'm sure I'm doing this a grave disservice, but let's keep this short and sweet. I will say thank you guys all for listening to me in the various times that I subbed in for Jason during this season, and then I believe once for Karen as well. It was a real pleasure being on the show, and I had a great time. And it was unfortunate we didn't have more of these comic talks, but I want to thank Grace, of course, for always joining me for all of these. I want to thank all of you who've been listening to Under the Comic Covers. I'm going to be stoked to be on the future podcast. I don't know if Jason has announced that yet or not, but that's just a teaser for what might be coming. And if not, I'm stoked about it. And, of course, listen to Under the Comic Covers. This week we'll have Jason on there with me. Grace is on vacation, which is why she's not here with me. So, yay, Grace. Have a great time. I look forward to Jason and I talking about the Walking Dead comic book this week on Under the Comic Covers. And I will talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful off season. See you when The Walking Dead returns.
All right, that's our show, episode 257. Thank you for listening, everybody, as usual.
Thanks, everybody.
Karen, thank you for sticking with me through this season. It was tough.
Yay!
And I'm glad you stuck it out.
I had a great time.
Thank you. I had a great time. All right, if you guys want to give us a call, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@podcastica.com.
You can find us on the web at